Hey, I'm looking at this picture right here, man. He actually looks really freaking good. And considering the all of the hard work that he had to do, playing football. I mean, you played, get injuries and stuff. I'm looking at this photo. I'm like, he actually looks really damn good. I think if he chose to, do an amateur show, let's say he started off doing like men's physique, so he would be able to do mostly showing the up like right above the knee. He's not showing the whole quadricep. Even though he's got some decent quads, I think he would actually do well at the amateur level. I did not see his back though, and those are poses that are very, very difficult because we definitely don't train what we cannot see. But with his work ethic, I don't doubt it, man. Whoever's training with him, I want to know what they're doing. That's for sure. Because he looks pretty good, man. Like, I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna lie.
So obviously we can't see the back. We can see the front only. Where is he maybe strong ahead of the curve? Maybe for someone trying to break in, where is he maybe a little bit light? What do you think on that front?
I think his core looks really good. His core is a strength. His chest is a strength. In fact, his legs aren't bad. I'm looking at this. I'm like, could he use more calf development? Yes. He could definitely use more calf development. Could he use more delts? Yes. Could his arms be bigger? And a lot of football fans would be like, dude, his arms are sick. His arms are huge. We're talking about my sport. You need to have, minimum 22-inch guns, man, for especially with someone being that tall. So for him to be proportionate, he's got to work that front, the side, and the rear delt like crazy. So when he's doing those quarter turns, he's not getting lost because what ends up happening, he's so tall, he's going to go against guys that are shorter and they can overly expose him in that regard. But I don't think he's training like a bodybuilder, so to speak, at least from what I'm seeing. But he definitely has the potential. I mean, look, if he didn't have the chest and the core, I would say he's just hanging out. But no, he's got some real tools. And how old is he, Mojo? Like, how old is he?
Shoot, man, I gotta look that up. I want to say he's mid 30s or something like
That's
that.
not bad, dude. Like, that's when, for all guys out there, when you're 30 years old, between the age of 30 and 35, those are the years that are the most important because they're the most muscle maturing years, in my opinion. That's when you start developing that old man muscle. So for him training and working out, it's not surprising that he has some of that muscle already there. He just now has to, properly shape it and, diet every freaking day, which is, I don't know if he wants to do all that. Even I don't want to do that no more. So it's a commitment, man. It's another job.
How long do you think it would take him to be show ready, you think?
Well, if he was training with me, I can get him ready in 12 weeks.
12 weeks.
I can get him show ready in 12 weeks, probably. But if this is what I'm really saying, if this ain't photoshopped or anything, I could get him ready for an amateur show in literally 12 weeks, without a
That
doubt. Without a doubt. If he trained with me for 12 weeks and we, made sure everything was rocking and rolling, no injuries, we do his blood work, we do all that cool stuff, we figure out, his nutrition, 12 weeks, I can get him on a, amateur stage and he would actually be very pleased with how he looked. Very pleased.
Well, shoot, Phil, I've seen your workouts. I've seen your plan. I watch your freaking Instagram when you go live all the time and see what you're up to, so I can try and replicate it. Not surprised actually that you're saying only 12 weeks. At first, I was like, oh, maybe he's gonna say like a year or 2 years or
Nah,
something.
a year, a year. Gosh, I'd put on a lot. I'd easily be able to get him. I could get 20 pounds of muscle on him in 1 year, easily. And on his frame, that would look. I mean, he would need. His tailor would hate me. Put it like that. His tailor would hate me, but I think he would love the way he would look. Because he has such a big canvas. You know what I'm saying? Like he's so tall. Like he's got long limbs. So that's what bodybuilding really is. You work a little bit more on the calves, you work the hamstrings. We haven't seen how he looks from the side and from the rear. A lot of more muscle can be put on that back and those hamstrings and glutes. But hey, drop him my line, bro. Like if you need some help.
Hey, Phil, here's what else I've seen, and here's what I really want to talk about. I want to talk about Breaking Olympia, your documentary.
Thanks, bro.
Brother, I mean, we've been friends for a long time. Seeing that just absolutely blew my mind. I mean, you're buddies with someone, you think you know what they're going through, and then you see a film like that, and it just blows your mind. I mean, there are some other heavy hitters in that documentary. I mean, you see The Rock in it as well. If you haven't seen it, watch the trailer and then go watch the whole thing. But Phil, you got to tell us all about Breaking Olympia, because
Yeah.
that was just an incredible, incredible production.
No, thank you so much, brother. And yeah, we had an amazing, I would say, cast, but a lot of people that we had in it. You had mentioned Dwayne, Johnson. He's in it. He narrates a lot of it, obviously, with my wife as well, Sheree Cremona. She was in it. We had the great Tim Grover, has worked with countless badass athletes and entrepreneurs. And then you have all the guys I competed against, Jay Cutler, Dexter Jackson, Brandon Curry, Kai Green, my arch nemesis, Kai Green. We got him in there. We even had 8-time Mr. Olympia Ronnie Coleman and a few others. And this story wasn't necessarily about me just getting ready for a bodybuilding show. It wasn't just like a bodybuild, like pumping iron. This was about like my last dance, so to speak. Like how did I grow up? Where did I grow up? What sports did I play prior? What was that like? How did I get a Division I scholarship to the University of Denver? Why didn't he play more? Like what was going on in his head, and how I had some real tough realities that I had to deal with that a lot of young adults, especially young men, have to go through when they're being recruited. Becoming that Division I or Division II athlete, being told by their, those coaches, you went through that. They tell your mom and your dad, your girlfriend, hey, they're going to be taken care of. They're going to be the man. And look, every sports team, there is someone that's going to be the man. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't the man. And I had to learn how to deal with that, how to leverage that pain. And fortunately, bodybuilding opened that big door. And I went right through it and just kept on kicking ass. And, it was I'm very proud of the project. Shout out to Brett Harvey and also Danny Garcia. Danny, a badass, man. Like she really championed that whole thing with $7 Productions with Dwayne. And we got it picked up by Universal Pictures. And to have that, that type of distribution, having to be on airplanes and Amazon Prime, YouTube and Apple and all these different streaming services, I have no complaints. I'm just very thankful that I had the opportunity and we seized it. And a lot of people have been finding value within it.
Brother, it's been absolutely incredible. Yeah, I have buddies send me pictures of it on planes watching the doc. So we're just really, really cool stuff. But hey, Phil, you hopped in here last second with us. Thanks so much for making the time on the fly. Just goes to show what kind of person you are. Phil Heath, 7-time
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Olympia, Breaking Olympia. Thanks again, brother. You're the man.
Anytime, brother.